Emotional resilience and your life purpose are intertwined. And I want you to be successful. I really do. So we're going to discuss that so that you can stay on track with your goals, your vision, your purpose, and have that emotional resilience when life and others throw negativity and certain obstacles in your path, so that you can have that focus and that calmness and that presence and stay on track. So emotional resilience and your life purpose go together. And I was reading and listening on a podcast about Robert Greene, where he implores us, especially from his book Mastery, where he implores us to discover our life purpose and vision, and to hone and work on those unique skills and talents. And sometimes to do that, we're going to have to step away from certain activities in order to develop that discipline and have that time to work on what's important, just like an athlete training for something, or a high-level musician, or a high-level person discovering or working on anything important. It does take that discipline, sometimes stepping away from things that might seem like everybody's doing in the moment. Not that we can't participate at times, but we will have to have that time away, time to work on what's important for the higher goal of our life and for others. We will need to stand firm on our purpose, values, and mission. And I know, as I'm sure you've seen, that a lot of things in life, whether it's people or situations, kind of are pulling us off that path to do other things. Sometimes they might, as I said, seem fun in a moment, but it can detract you from your life mission purpose. And we need that emotional resilience to stay strong and stay firm and think about what's important to us. And working on our intelligence, our creative and life endeavors will require this resilience. It also requires stepping back with self-reflection and soul searching. It is not a bad idea to do that every day, especially a day where we faced a lot of challenges or negativities, or just certain allurements away from our true integrity, values, mission. Take that time to do that self-reflection and that soul searching, if you can, daily, just thinking about your day, I'm not saying ruminating and getting all caught up, but just do a quick reflection and see if it's on task with where you're headed. So that time dedicated to also learning your craft, working on that, having mentors in your life to help you stay focused and learn higher and better ways to achieve your special, unique talent, life vision, and mission. And as I said, denial of certain activities to stay on course, like athletes, musicians, whoever is successful and attaining that in life. Not moved so much always by the mocking of the crowd. And I don't know if you've noticed, but when you are doing something unique and it might seem different to what others are doing, you can get a lot of ridicule or mocking. And it does take that emotional strength and that emotional resilience, because that can feel hurtful and bad sometimes. But just remember that you are working on something unique. You have a unique talent and a skill. And that can, even Robert Greene said in his book, when we stay on track with that mastery and work on that unique skill, even though we may have to set aside certain activities that seem fun in the moment at times, eventually it's going to lead to so much more satisfaction and fulfillment by learning that mastery, that skill, and realizing the dreams that we want to. Will have a lot more satisfaction than some of those quick pleasures that can dissipate and take us off track and lead to sometimes regret. So staying on track with that, not worrying all the time what everybody else is saying about it, or trying to mock you and push you off that course, making you feel inferior about that. Stay on track. If you feel like there's things you need to change about it, get feedback from others. Definitely want to get that feedback. That's part of the research. Get feedback. make sure it's not just someone's negativity and pulling you away, but get that honest feedback and refine your goals and your purpose. Stay on track. Don't get stagnated by the mockings and the vision of people that aren't working on something. Some people kind of just do get stagnated and want to stay with the crowd. And it's definitely nice to get along and to have that support, but don't let that stagnate you and stay in a box. Stay creative, stay on your purpose and your vision. And so emotional resilience, it's all about also bouncing back from setbacks, building that success, not feeling defeated from things going on, but learning to bounce back. So some ways to hone and develop that emotional resilience: stay connected with others, especially with others that also are motivated in life and are going after higher goals. Also mentors and different examples, visionaries and leaders that can lead you on that path. And also recognizing signs of maybe toxic behavior and toxic relationships that do tend to pull you off that path, and you're going to have to make some decisions on how to deal with that, but definitely learn about that because you don't want to get stuck in toxicity. Having that mindful meaning in everyday life, that mindfulness where we can learn how to be content because we know that we're walking in integrity, showing empathy, being mindful as we go, as you go, noticing others, noticing if you're staying on track, just noticing the peace and the beauty around you, not getting so caught up in emotional worry and ruminations. Learn from your experiences. As I said, self-reflect, step back, look at what you're doing, look at if you did make a mistake or something that you want to learn to do it in a different way. Don't let that beat you up. Just learn from it and have that growth from it so you don't always repeat mistakes and ruminations. Staying optimistic, staying hopeful, having a bright outlook. Sometimes that can be a hard endeavor, so there's a lot of things you can do. Staying healthy in body, mind, and spirit, staying around positive people and experiences, taking care of your body, getting enough sleep, eating healthy, drinking lots of water. Self-care is very important for our body, mind, and spirit, and our brain health. Learning new activities, and especially if you are trying to go after something different or unique, it's going to help your brain develop that neuroplasticity where our brain is regenerating, renewing those brain circuits and pathways. Being proactive for yourself, helping others, doing the best at your job, at school, your family, your community, staying proactive, helping others out, not letting them get bullied or picked on, not letting yourself in your own mind getting bullied, having that emotional strength. And very important is having your moral compass, your integrity, especially if the crowd wants to try to pull you in a certain mold. It's not always along with your integrity and your moral compass and your vision and even God's plan for your life. So that comes back into that soul searching and that self-reflection. Facing fears, facing bullies that can be from others. It can be in our own mind, just feeling attacked or belittled. So you want to face those, find healthy ways to face those. You can read books on it, listen to podcasts, have positive mentors and role models and friends in your life to help with that support. Digging into our faith and our faith relationships will help us stay on that integritous and moral compass path of our life. And getting that support system, which is also helping, not just building you up, but building others up. Life takes on a whole new level when we are seeking to build others up, speaking life into them. It's so rewarding to see others also succeed. It's not just about us. Someone gave me a book that I want to tap into, and I appreciate her doing this, giving me this. It's called Daring Greatly by Brene Brown, and it was very inspirational and informative on ways to stay emotionally healthy, stay on our life purpose and path, and just keep thinking about ways to do that. And I'm just going to read a quick list of some things before she really got into the book. The list said, number 1, cultivating authenticity, letting go of what people think. That is easy to get trapped into that mold of always worrying about what people think, and even if they're trying to ridicule or belittle your authenticity. Your authenticity is so bright and important and attractive. Stay authentic, stay you. It is beautiful. Cultivating self-compassion, letting go of perfectionism. Yes, we can strive to do our best, but don't get caught up in feeling like it has to be perfect before we can move on to the next level. Cultivating a resilient spirit, letting go of numbing and powerlessness. Cultivating gratitude and joy. That's beautiful. Letting go of scarcity and fear of the dark. So gratitude and joy. Cultivating intuition and trusting faith, letting go of the need for certainty. Cultivating creativity. Creativity is so important. Will help you with that brain power and that neuroplasticity to get, when you are creative, it helps develop and pour more creativity and joy into your life, spilling onto the lives of others. Letting go of that comparison. Cultivating play and rest. We don't always have to be on the grind. Definitely have playful moments in your day, in your life, every day, and get enough rest, mental rest and physical rest. Letting go of exhaustion as a status symbol, and productivity is self-worth. Enjoy your life. Cultivating calm and stillness, letting go of anxiety as a lifestyle. We don't have to be on a treadmill. We can enjoy what we're doing and cultivate that calm and resilient emotional spirit. Cultivating meaningful work, letting go of self-doubt and supposed to, getting out of those boxes. Meaningful work will change your life, and it will help change the world and help others. And cultivating laughter, song and dance, letting go of being cool and always in control. As I said again, enjoy your life, have fun, be unique, be yourself. So that was from Daring Greatly by Brene Brown. And just a reminder from, I almost forgot to tell you, I'm Nurse Ann. I'm a nurse on the front lines of mental health and emergency and still going. And I really want you to be successful. I want you to break out of that mental bondage. Follow this page, like it, share it with others who need this type of content. Leave your comments today. Please do that. And one of my devotionals is Energize Health, Body, Mind, and Spirit. And there is a link at my website, nurseann.com. It's below in the description. That's Ann with an E. And a quick excerpt from here when we were talking about health. I think about this, whatever career or endeavors you're in, sometimes we can be sitting down a lot. So stretching and exercise are important. One of the worst habits, they actually say it's worse than smoking, is sitting or laying around all day. This lethargy promotes ill and declining health. So just that quick reminder to take a walk, move, stretch, exercise. Make sure you're doing that. Energize Health, Body, Mind, and Spirit by Nurse Ann, your favorite nurse and new indie author. And I've also started doing spoken word. And at the end of this podcast, this is an audiobook podcast. At the end, which I'll try to make it quick, I'm going to read you that excerpt from my published fictional drama for all the action, adventure, advocacy, and awareness. If you've been following along, if you haven't, I'll show you how to do that. And my newest is Ignite Life Poetry Devotional. I definitely want you to go for an ignited life. And this will help us to dig into our passions, to discover other stories and ignite passion and potential for our own journey, along with mutual encouragement for others. And today I picked a spoken word that I wrote called Exotic Adventures. Just also reminding us Every day can be an exotic adventure, and this is also talking about travel and meeting new people and trying new things. So Exotic Adventures by Nurse Anne. Let me know in the comments what you think. Travels abroad, new places to go. Spices to taste, go with the flow. Ticket for the plane or all aboard a train. Perhaps a voyage at sea, just let loose and be free. Customs, cultures, ideas to find. Let down your hair, relax and unwind. And the devotional part asks, where have you already traveled to? And where else would you love to visit? Getting out of our daily routines and exploring new adventures can breathe fresh life into our perspectives and insights. And that's from my Nightlife Poetry Devotional, link at the website by Nurse Anne. And I have the Inspiration Battles Devotional, which does help us with the soul searching and staying inspired. And the one I picked today is from the letter F, and the word is fountain. Would you like to have a life of ebullience? And that means joy, and a life that bubbles up and spills onto others. Sometimes shiny things, hypes, lights, and sounds can seem to offer that fleeting excitement. And these pursuits can provide a temporary fix of so-called joy. But can these band-aid fixes compare to the scriptural definition of the joy of the Lord? Or does God offer something deeper and more life-sustaining? We have all probably spent long lost money and time chasing the elusive mirage of happiness. But a closer look at happiness reveals an existence that comes and goes based on the current circumstances we find ourselves in. And I'm going to let you discover the rest of this one at my Ignite Life Poetry Devotional link on the website. And there's also Word Puzzles Devotional, which is interesting words linked to everyday life and our inner thought struggles to help you overcome and thrive, and so much more. And just a quick tidbit from this one. This is an A to Z devotional. I picked L, luminary, because you can be a luminary, and that is a person who inspires or influences others, especially one prominent in a particular sphere, an inspiration, leader, and expert. And that ties back into the life purpose and emotional mastery, where we are refining and honing and learning a unique and special skill, even just getting better at our own career path, our family, our community, what we're doing. That is so important for your emotional resilience. Another thing important for emotional resilience is mental healing. That's why I wrote the Mental Healing Poetry Devotional, to help you turn away from mindsets controlled by fear and have that mental healing, trauma healing, emotional healing. So important for emotional resilience and having a great life. So with that being said, we're going to jump into my published fictional drama, and then I'm going to let you go. And as I said before, in my free time, as a busy nurse on the front lines, I created a 6-part series that highlights the struggles that people go through in emergency and mental health. Also the frontline workers, also you and us in our own life and mental struggles, in our life battles, and it helps us overcome that and get some insight into that. And this is a 6-part series that's going to be a television drama one day with your help, but to make it cheaper and easier for you to ride along, I put it in one book. It's the Mental Falls First 6 Stories edition, link at the website, so you can join this book club, and you can also listen for free on the podcast at the nurseann.com website. That's Ann with an E. There's a Patreon link and a podcast link, so you can listen from the beginning or pick and choose to hear these exciting chapters, because they are filled with action, lots of action. So it will be that television drama with your help, adventure. There's a lot of romance, faith, inspiration, suspense, danger, and action. And on this, you ride along with the frontline workers as they rescue those in crisis of mental, physical, and spiritual. But the shifts are 24/7, and you have to buckle up for this compelling ride filled with all that stuff that I told you before. And also, to make it easier, because we don't always have time to sit down and read the book, it was turned into an audiobook narrated by Drama Simpson. He brought it to life with siren noises, lots and lots of action to make you feel like you're there. And it's on Audible and iTunes, and this is the cover. The Mental Falls First 6 Stories edition by Nurse Anne. So I will read you where we're at right now. We're in book 2, Dr. John Doe. I'm not going to go back because I value your time and I know you have other things to do. So we're on chapter 18 and it's called Heart to Heart. Thrilled at the news that the nurse called to tell him about Jenna, Leon wanted to fill Lita in person. Not to mention any excuse to see the lady he wanted to spend all of his time with. I told you there was romance in this series. Taking a bold chance, he decided to drop by her place unannounced. Already changed out of her dress-up clothes, Lita had just settled down in her sweats with a cup of tea in her comfortable recliner. The knock at her door caught her off guard. With all of the recent troubles, she was just a tad nervous to answer her door. Who could it be? The deep voice on the other side caused instant butterflies to do a tango on her inside. As she swung open the door, she felt a blush of embarrassment as she remembered she was makeup-free and dressed down. Stunned by her natural beauty, Leon quickly dispelled her nerves by letting her know how gorgeous and radiant she looked. How can I possibly keep up my guard with my Prince Charming? She wondered as she fell into his embrace. Pulling back, she offered the rejuvenated officer a cup of tea with her. Happy that he might be sweeping her off her feet, Leon settled onto the couch while Lita prepared his mint tea. The conversation was interesting as the two asked each other for hours about one another's life, where and how they grew up, their favorite classes in school, and so much more. The dialogue veered down the serious road as they started to discuss what they were looking for in a mate and ideas about family and future. Looking up at the clock, Leon decided to play it safe and leave before his feelings intensified, alone with Lita. What a gentleman, she beamed to herself as she watched him walk to his car. And that's the end of chapter 18. Chapter 19 is big decisions. And I'll let you hear that on the next podcast. What big decisions do you need to make to have more emotional resilience, to work on your life purpose and goals? We're going to keep talking about that. Make sure you follow this, like it, leave a comment, share it with others, and I'll see you at the next nurseanne.com podcast.